this Facebook Live this week, we are going to talk about the fifth chakra, the Shuddha, also known as the throat chakra. That's very common here. So I will change this up just a little bit here. So if you see on my tapestry, we are working our way up. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Last week, when the heart chakra, when we did that, that was your gateway, the halfway point. So now we're moving up to the throat. So the light blue color there of the throat chakra vibrates a light blue. Now, sometimes you might also see people, if you follow people, reading about different shades of blue, kind of like the color of my shirt, for example. So it really just depends on who you follow. My little chakra, little set that a student gave me a couple years ago for Christmas is actually light blue, as well as my tapestry. So that's the main blue that we're going to go with today, as well as my whiteboard, which I'm seeing now has a horrible glare on it. I apologize for that. But when I take the picture of the whiteboard here after our Facebook Live, I will do that for you without the glare. So without further ado, good. So throat chakra, just like it sounds, it is in the throat area. What else is here? Well, you've got the neck, which is the back, your cervical spine. You've got your thyroid and parathyroid glands here. So this also involves the mouth, the teeth. This also is the lower part of the face. So you've got the nose, the cheeks, your cheek sinuses down here, your ears. Vocal cords are down here. So all of those things would be in your part of your throat chakra. So most of your senses. So smell, taste are right here. And we talked about color. The element here, again, also air, which makes sense because without air, we cannot talk. We cannot breathe freely, through the throat, because we do have the trachea that's in this area as well. And also a little bit of ether, which is space, which makes sense because your mouth is not all, it's moist in there. You've got, hopefully wet tongue and everything, but it's for the most part a more hollow cavity. You don't have fluid and stuff constantly filling up that space. Same thing with your trachea, your esophagus here. Again, your vocal cords are a little bit more open in order to take that air. You've got sinuses here. You're taking in that air in and out through the nose. So there's a lot of air and a lot of space in this chakra. Stone or the crystal, there are quite a few. The one that I like the best to work with and have is lapis lazuli. So you can see it's a nice dark shade of blue here. Turquoise and aquamarine are also good fifth chakra crystals. Stones or minerals, whatever you would like to refer them to. And the sound is hum. So it looks like ham. It's actually hum. So when you get to the food, that includes tea. So when I chant, I do better when I have a warm beverage first. So here we go for hum. So hum. Food, well, warm drinks, just like warm tea. It can also be warm water. Warm lemon water is a favorite of mine from time to time. And we also hot chocolate, not always good for you, but a nice little tasty treat. Blueberries, because it's a more blue food. Really any kind of fruits. Liquids, soups, sea veggies. So that's going to be like kelp, things like that. Nori. And some seafood, and the reason for that is mainly a source of iodine, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. So the breath, you have that throat stimulating sensation, the vibration in the back, so it's very stimulating for the throat chakra, as well as for some of the lower chakras as well. So I'm not sure how well you can hear my ujjayi. I'll do a half, the exhale, and an inhale and exhale with it, which is actually the full. not often taught, but that is what the full Ujjayi breath is. So you'll inhale that, just the exhale. So you're making that ha sound out of the mouth, H-A. So you're forcing the exhale air out the nose. So that creates the vibration and sound. Then the inhale, you're making an ah sound, A-H, as you inhale. And then with the ha on the exhale. And that's why it gets the nickname the ocean breath, because you're mimicking that sound of the ocean with both the inhale and the exhale. Poses. Well, you're in the neck, the throat area, so a lot of neck twisting, going back and forth, little circles here. They actually feel really nice for most people. Fish pose, we did that last week in the fourth chakra because it is also a back bend. It's also a throat opener. Okay? Shoulder stand, why? Because to properly do shoulder stand, you also have the Jalandhara chin lock, the throat bandha, if you will, so that you've got that stimulation there. So anytime you use the Jalandhara chin lock, throat lock bridges, because you have that little bit of stimulation there. Plow pose, ear pressure pose, all of those are good for the fifth chakra. Positive attributes of the fifth chakra. I'm just going to kind of move this down, even though you may not be able to see it, but that's okay because, like I said before, we'll get another photo. Okay. So, good outward communication. So this is both in speech, writing, singing. This is your find your voice chakra. So, and that's kind of like, I can speak my truth. I have my voice. I stand up for myself, that sort of thing. Authenticity, living with integrity. And then the negative attributes, which I will just kind of keep getting my face out of this frame, but that's okay. Okay. Negative attributes, speech issues, sore throat, dry throat issues, neck issues, harshness in your speech, not speaking up for yourself, gossip, a lot of negativity. Of course, that can also be found in some of the lower chakras as well, for sure. Any kind of mouth issues, teeth issues, ear, nose issues, you're unsure of yourself, goiters, not always, but sometimes caused by not enough iodine in your diet, which goes back up to the food, where some seafood can be a source of that iodine. I think they add it into some salt now as well. Just make sure that you're using that very sparingly. Or a multivitamin. Good. And then meditations or affirmations. So I can speak my truth. I can speak up for myself. I have the right to be heard. Am I asking questions? I live with integrity. Or am I living with integrity? Is my speech, the way I live, go with my beliefs? Are they all in alignment with each other? And then I also have Satnam down here, which we talked about in the third chakra, which truth. I am my truth is me. And I put that here because in the fifth chakra, we speak our truth when we're in balance. So it's just another way to kind of connect one of the other chakras in with that, as they all are somewhat related to each other. So I've got Satnam down there as well. Good. So that is pretty much what I wanted to cover for the fifth chakra, Vishuddha, the throat chakra, your finding your voice chakra. And it is my hope that you will always be in a position to find your voice and make that voice known. It's very, very important to be heard and just to speak your truth. So if you have any questions about this chakra or any of the previous chakras that we've done, please let me know. I'm happy to get a Facebook message from you, email, in class, whatever way you prefer is all good. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. Namaste.